Hey, it's Wes, and we are back again today. And I have been playing more and more with this Prismari deck. It is sitting at roughly about a 50% win rate, which you got to realize is a little skewed because I've been kind of tinkering this deck as we go. And just to kind of show you where we've gotten to expressive iteration, of course, we've got the 4 Prismari Apprentice, the Ingenious Inspiration, 3 Prismari Command because I don't have 4. 4 Spectacle Mage, I dropped down the Maelstrom Muse to 2. The 3 Practical Research, 3 Creative Outburst, 2 Magma Opus, 4 Crack with Power, and 2 Culmination of Studies. And of course, in the sideboard, because we do have a little bit of Learn, we have got Environmental Sciences, Expanded Anatomy, Introduction to Prophecy. I've thought about changing this up a little bit, but I just haven't decided what to put in here yet. But for the most part, the Environmental Sciences has done really, really well for me. So I'm kind of sticking with that, and that's what I've mostly been drawing out of here. If they have an item that is going to be very, very tough to get rid of, I have been drawing the Introduction Annihilation as well. Once in a while, I do find myself in a situation where this is actually kind of handy as well. So without too much further ado, we're going to jump right into some gameplay because I know we've talked a little bit about this deck. All right, so we're jumping into our first match here. One thing to kind of point out about this deck is that it does struggle against certain specific decks. I'm having problems with creature hordes because I don't have a lot of burn, and it takes a little bit of time to set this deck up. It's definitely not aggro, which is really kind of my preferred playstyle. The other thing about it is that it is very good against certain decks that are somewhat meta. And, it's the whole balancing act. The decks that I've really done well into is a lot of your blue-white control. And I've not run into a Yorion deck with it yet. And that's kind of probably the most well-known blue-white control deck. But I've not actually run into it yet. And I'm hoping to hit one of those here soon because that is one of those decks that I really want to try this out for. Now, I've been drawing this Environmental Sciences for obvious reasons. First and foremost, to be able to power my card draw, to be able to get more lands into play, but also it triggers his Magecraft very, very quickly and easily. So that's something that I've really been able to lean upon for that reason. We'll go ahead and pop the Maelstrom Muse in play, and we will not attack. I'm assuming we're probably going to see a murder. Nope, no murder. At least not yet. He might just be a pure aggro. No, Heartless Act. There it is. I was going to say he might just be a pure aggro deck, but Heartless Act, definitely a little bit of control and utility. Who do I want to use that on? I don't think I want to use that at all right at the moment. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to cast this instead to make him unblockable, get myself a little bit more land in hand. And let's see, it does do... Let's go next, and I'll attack. And end turn. See, that's the thing about this deck. It's somewhat counterintuitive because you want to take your time usually to build up your position, whereas in this deck, you're not necessarily wanting to cast every spell just because you can cast it. You're spacing it out to take a full advantage of the Prismari Apprentice. Oh, hello. And let's see here. We've got 6 in play. I really don't want to take too many more hits from him. We will go ahead and take out the Liliana Standard Bearer. That also puts a 2/2 on him. We're going to grab the Expanded Anatomy. And we're going to cast that on him. And we're going to go all attack. Next turn, let's see. Ooh. If I can actually pull this off, I can't. But if I could, that would be the right move. I think what I'm going to pull instead is the culmination of studies, and I'm going to cast it for 4. All right. And then this next turn, we can pop off a relatively large Crackle with Power. And I'm going to attack with all. And we will end turn. He's going to be able to drop down quite a bit of damage onto me. But I think we're in good shape still. Yep, my turn. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so we can go ahead and pop this for paying 2, nail it, and we may as well take out that guy. That works. There we go. GG. This is not a bad deck whatsoever. If you are thinking about playing Prismari, this deck is a blast. And I mean that in a very literal sense, you know. Just take a look at what we've done. We've got Crack with Power, this culmination of studies. I love it. It's not super consistent because of the way that it works, but I love the card nonetheless. I wish I had 4 of them because I would pop it all the time for 3, 4 mana all the time. I think it's a great card, great concept behind it. Crackle with Power, though, is just a great finishing punch to be able to just drive home the game. And here we are, we're going against an aggro deck, and this is obviously a creature horde deck. And it's one of those situations where we had just enough creatures to slow him down. Just enough burn to slow him down. Now, to be fair, I got kind of lucky. I drew 2 of these Ingenious Inspirations, and I was able to have a couple creatures in play. I think in the whole deck I've maybe got, 10 creatures, I believe. But we really kind of got lucky with our draw versus his particular deck. But man, this deck is a load of fun. All right, let's jump into our next match here. This deck is still fairly new. I've only played about maybe 10, 15 matches with it. So it's definitely what you would still call relatively new. I'm actually not a big fan of Creative Outburst. I like it, and I don't like it all at the same time. I love Practical Research, though. To me, of these 2 cards, this is the card to get. It's so expensive. 7 mana is a lot. But the fact it does give you the ability to be able to create tokens is a good feature. Alright, drop that island into play. And we'll go ahead and create the token. There we go. And we will go next. And no attacks. That's a very interesting set of cards right there. I've not actually hit a life gain deck yet. I'm very curious if he's running Veto in this. That'd be kind of a no-brainer. Yep. Gain 4 life. So his goal is to try to pump this guy up. Which, to be fair, is actually a pretty good idea. Let's see here. What can we get into play to help us out in the meantime? Get Maelstrom Muse up in the air. That way we can kind of block her, keep her from doing her thing. And we'll go with no attackers again. And the next turn we can drop Practical Research. Hey, another Hallowed Priest. If she's smart, she'll keep attacking with the Indulging Patrician because he's not strong enough to kill it. Yep. So they will keep gaining life. Alright, we'll drop that into play. Hit the practical research. There we go. Oh, very nice. And we will discard that one. And we will attack with the Prismari Apprentice. We've also picked up the Ingenious Inspiration. That way this next turn, maybe we can pop that off, kill off one of these priests. Oh, another Indulging Patrician. And we will block that. We need to do something about these priests before they scale out of control. Well, we are going to take this one out. And we're going to pick up Expanded Anatomy. Let's see here. Drop that onto him. And we will attack with him. There we go. Now that Hallowed Priest is going to be a 7-set. Ooh, yucky. Who's he going to take out? Yep, I had a feeling. Kind of shocked we really have not drawn a couple of my key cards that I like to have. But hopefully soon. Getting a little more land. Can at least take out one of those. We can drop the... Ooh. And we will not attack. Yeah, so far, it's actually been a pretty good game. He's had, I think, a fairly good, solid hand. Kind of in a bad situation at the moment, but if nothing else, I can throw this Prismari player into play, and maybe we can get lucky. Here we will actually go next, attack with him. That will make this cheaper to cast to take it out. Ooh, put one into my hand. Crackle with Power. And we're sitting at... I should have put him into play. That was my mistake. Because I have to block him. That is my mistake. Yeah, so I had a misplay there. I had to block him, so... what was that? Okay, so... I can pay 2. Very good. And I am not going to attack. I'm in a situation where, as much as I may want to attack, I probably shouldn't. I could have attacked with him to lower the casting cost on that, and then got my Prismari Apprentice in here. And that's one of the things I'm not really used to. I'm an aggro player. I've always played with this intent of always attacking as often as possible. Maybe not attacking every turn, but always trying to make sure that you get as much value out of what you're doing. All right, let's see here. We will attack with him. That will make it to where I gotta do math. So I should be able to go 8, 9. That's huge. Ooh, big hit, big hit. We're going to go ahead and pop him with the... Oh man, he is so close to being taken out. We are going to pop him with the Ingenious Inspiration to the creature it's in play. We will auto pay that. That will allow us to learn. We are going to go to expand anatomy. Oh, all right. Well, I think you've seen two ways that this deck plays whenever you're going against a creature horde, or also see even the life gain here. It's a pretty good deck. I've been enjoying it, but we're going to cover a little more in the